Have you ever wondered how certain programming concepts can seem to defy logic? Today, we're diving into a fascinating question. How is it possible to access a private constant field from an attribute? This might sound confusing, but stick around and we'll unravel this mystery together. I totally get it. It can be frustrating when you encounter something that seems to violate the encapsulation principle in programming. You're not alone in feeling puzzled by this. Many developers have faced similar questions. Here's the specific situation we're looking at. A user recently asked, how is it possible to access a private constant field from an attribute? They provided a code snippet that raises this very question. Let's break it down and see what's happening. So, what's going on here? In C#, attributes are a special kind of class that can access private members of other classes. This might seem like a breach of encapsulation, but it's actually a feature of the language that allows for more flexibility. And don't go anywhere. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand this concept, but also gain insights into how attributes work in C#. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. To understand how a private constant field can be accessed from an attribute, we first need to recognize that attributes in C# are processed at compile time. This means they can access certain elements of the class they are applied to. Next, the user should note that the private constant field is not truly hidden from the attribute. In fact, the attribute can access it because it is evaluated during the compilation process, allowing it to reference the constant directly. Now let's clarify the encapsulation principle. While it may seem like accessing a private field violates encapsulation, in this case, it does not. The attribute is part of the same assembly and can access private members for metadata purposes. Finally, the user should remember that this behavior is by design in C#. It allows for more flexible and powerful attribute usage, enabling developers to leverage constants without exposing them publicly. Fun fact, in C#, attributes are a powerful way to add metadata to your code. They can be used for everything from serialization to defining behaviors in frameworks like ASP.NET. Who knew something so small could have such a big impact? Now, let's look at the answers provided by other users. This user clarifies that accessing a private constant field from an attribute does not violate encapsulation. They explain that the attribute declaration is logically part of the class. The attribute is not directly accessing the private field. Instead, it's using the field's value when called from within the class. They also point out that the C# syntax might suggest the attribute is external, but in reality, it's not. The intermediate language, or IL, generated for the class shows that the attribute is applied directly to the class, reinforcing its internal scope. Finally, they suggest that if C# had a different syntax, it might have made the scope clearer. But the current syntax is arguably more straightforward, especially when attributes are applied to members. Here's a takeaway. While it may seem like accessing private fields from attributes violates encapsulation, it's actually a design choice in C#. Understanding this can help you write more effective and flexible code. And there you have it. You've learned how attributes can access private fields in C#. If you found this video helpful, please hit the subscribe button for more programming insights. Keep exploring, and happy coding.